A lot of news in the sports world this week. I know we started out with Nico Harrison getting fired from the Dallas Mavericks. Honestly, with Nico Harrison, when you look at his resume, he's not very experienced in sports management. I mean, he's became the general manager for the Dallas Mavs right after Mark Cuban sold most of his stake to the DeMont family. Um, and the first thing he did was go to a finals with Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, and all those guys. And then also you saw a trade happen in the year after that, the trade with Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers, which many people gave Nico the blame. But if you look at it from another perspective, um, it was actually a collective agreement to trade Luka. Nico just played the part in executing the trade, getting the players in and out, getting players in, trading players out. Um, but Dumont was probably at the forefront of it. And a couple days ago, he did take full accountability for that. So when it comes to Nico, I think he got fired only because the Mavs need a fresh start. I wouldn't say because of Luca, because I think the whole front office took part in that. I think the Mavs, they just need a fresh start, and Nico Harrison being fired is basically the start of that. You have a number one draft pick in Cooper Flag, and you also have pieces around him that are injured, but those pieces do have great trade value, so you can trade those pieces off, like Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, even Daniel Gafford, and get a younger team, and they could restart some things. So this firing I see as something that's like not really towards Nico, but I think it's just better for the organization to move on because they just need a fresh start. But another person was fired, and this was the former head coach of the New York Giants. Brian Dable was fired from the New York Giants. After that loss to the Bears, I did see him being fired. I mean, the writing was pretty much on the wall. Jackson Dart got hurt in that game. Russell Wilson did not step up to the plate and perform well either, and I think they were tired of Brian Dable. I mean, Brian Dable, when he first got to New York, he did promise a winning team, but he's only done that once, like in 2022 when they went on that little run and they beat the Vikings. That's the only time we saw the Giants winning. So they're moving on from Brian Dable. I don't know who their next coach is going to be now that the news is pretty much out, but I do know there will be a quarterback change. Jameis Winston will be starting their next game because Jackson Dart is hurt, and Russell Wilson, I don't think they have much faith in him after what he's done this season. I mean, going into this season, they did say Russell Wilson was going to be their starter quarterback, but then after a few games, they just said, hey, we're going to go with Jackson Dart. But Jackson Dart, he's always injured, especially with those concussions. They got to, watch that. So now Jameis Winston is starting. Looks like this team's going downhill. I mean, we'll see what they do. And right now, it is what it is. But another news is Travis Hunter just got the news that he's going to get season-ending knee injury. I just feel like Travis Hunter right now, you can't play both sides like that. Like, I just feel like it's impossible in NFL. I know we're in 2025 and teams love to try new things with players, but both sides never happen in the NFL, and we're looking at the reason right now because Travis Hunter is taking a toll on his body. You look at other players that play both sides coming out of college. Charles Woodson out of Michigan, who played offense and defense, but he had to choose once he got drafted by the Raiders. He chose defensive back, had a successful career. You can also say that with Champ Bailey. Champ Bailey played offense and defense, got drafted, went to Washington, and he played corner, had a great career. I just feel like Travis Hunter needs to choose one, and if I were to pick where he needs to go, I would say corner because he is great at defending those wide receivers or anybody else on the field. So he does need to choose one if he plan on staying in the NFL long, and I just think that he needs to be a defensive back. I mean, that's just my opinion. But in other news, last night, the college football playoff top 25 was revealed. These are the week 12 rankings based off of what's been going on this season in college football. We got number 1, Ohio State, number 2, Indiana, 3, A&M, 4, Alabama, 5, Georgia, 6 is Texas Tech, 7 is Ole Miss. 8 is Oregon. 9 is Notre Dame. 10 is Texas. 11 is Oklahoma. 12 is BYU. 13 is Utah. 14 Vanderbilt. 15 Miami. 16 Georgia Tech. And 17 USC. 18 Michigan. Y'all could go look at the full top 25 on ESPN, or they posted on Twitter. But I want to go into these first 12 teams. Ohio State and Indiana and Texas A&M, that's a given. Like, those teams are the only undefeated teams in college football, and they are playing exceptionally well. So yeah, top 3 teams. Bama is proving everybody wrong. Last year they did say that they was not going to be good this season, but right now they are proving everybody wrong. And also Texas Tech, with their win to BYU, they did go up in the rankings. BYU, I'm kind of surprised that they're still in that 12th spot, only because of the loss to Texas Tech. But they have yet to prove themselves. Like I said in the last video, Bear Bachmeier and all those guys need to learn how to play those kind of teams. I mean, I feel like they can, but right now they haven't proved that yet. Number 10, Texas is what really surprised me. We all saw them struggle in the beginning of the season with a loss to Ohio State and a loss to Florida. So it did look a little shaky there as to, it looked a little shaky as to, like, if they were going to be in that top 12. But along with other SEC teams, they do fall in there in the top 12. 11, Oklahoma. Oklahoma surprised me with their loss to Ole Miss. And then John Mateer, you're not sure about how he's going to do throughout the season with his injuries to his hand. Oklahoma, I mean, they could be there, but we got to see how things are moving forward. But those top 7, 8 teams, I can even include number 9 Notre Dame. I think they really deserve their spot. But Texas, Oklahoma, and BYU really going to have to prove themselves in the next few weeks. So I know there's a big matchup between A&M and Texas that Texas will have to win to stay in that top 12. So we will be looking forward to that. I know some teams are in the hunt, like South Florida. You got Vanderbilt. You got Georgia Tech. You got Miami. I might be looking at the wrong thing. I might be misleading. But I know that the top 12, if I just go look at that right quick. If I look at the top 12 real quick, let me pull the top 12. Okay, here it is. All right, so South Florida will play Georgia. Notre Dame will play Oregon. Texas will play Ole Miss. And Miami's in there. Miami is in there with those teams. And then South Florida will play Georgia, which is a given. I mean, I think eventually UNT might take that spot if they beat South Florida in their rematch, which I'm predicting a rematch will happen between South Florida and UNT. But Notre Dame and Oregon, I got Notre Dame. Texas, Ole Miss, I got Ole Miss. They're a pretty powerful offense with Lane Kiffin, so I got Ole Miss. Miami and Tech, I got Tech. And I know A&M will move on. Indiana will move on. I think these top 4 teams, all of them will move on to the top 4. And then I think it will be another case of the teams that played in the first round, they were not able to make it through the second, and then they might say, like, hey, there's no point in making a 12-team playoff. But it is what it is. But anyways, this will be the end of this podcast. I hope everyone enjoyed. Make sure you guys like and subscribe for more content like this. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'm out. Peace.